Ciao, ciao, everybody. Welcome to week 7. This week on Friday, we have a day trip to Florence, but until then, we are working on some school projects. So Jackson and I are in a group. We have to use a building, the public library in Orvieto, and we're taking pictures and studying it, documenting it. So here we are doing that. For dinner, I made myself a kebab and some fries. My new obsession is definitely making fries from scratch. I've never done that before, but oven-baked potato, really good. So Tuesday was really just a repeat of Monday, doing the same thing for our studio project. So here are just some pictures of the place that we're studying. It's actually a really cute area. You wouldn't know it was here unless you went in. My apartment is right by this place. I had no idea, because this place it never looked open. I didn't know it was here. For dinner, Jackson and I made some spaghetti and meatballs. I could have used some more sauce. It definitely had potential. Wednesday was a pretty decent day, but the excitement didn't happen until that night. Jackson and I went to a sushi restaurant where it was all you can eat for like 25 euros, and we had like 2 appetizers and 4 rolls each, and when I tell you I was stuffed, but it was so good, so worth it. And we're already on Thursday. Fit check, nothing crazy, just a comfy day, what I had left. And then I went to Montanuki for breakfast. Jackson and I are trying to eat at as many restaurants here as we possibly can before we leave, and so this day we went to lunch and had a glass of wine, and I had a pasta. I don't honestly recall what it was, but I mean, you can look at it and probably imagine what it tasted like. That afternoon, we had our ceramics workshop. So we were each given a tile, and we had to create our own design. I don't know, it's kind of a long process, but this is what I made. I kind of just wanted to use as many patterns as I could from this book I found. I don't know, I think they're like traditional type patterns, but I ran out of time for adding color, so she's just gonna be black and white. This week our field trip is Florence, so today we are heading there. It is just a one-day trip, but Jackson and I are staying an extra night. This video here is an attempt to show you the hot air balloons. There's like 10 of them just floating out there. The window was so dirty, I could not get a good video, but you can see here, it was really cool. Of course, always checking out the Duomos. So here's the Duomo in Florence. There were lots of like horse carriage things. It kind of just looked like a tourist trap, I think is what it was. This day, I really just have a mass collage of pictures and videos rather than explanations to everything. It was a quick run around. We didn't really go in many places during our tour. We kind of just walked around the city and saw what all there was to see. For lunch, we all kind of just went to this mall with a food court, and on the menu of one of the places I ended up eating at was a Kansas combo, so thought it was really funny. Almost shared it with a couple other people, but I decided I wasn't sure there was gonna be enough for the three of us, so I just ordered my own thing, but it's funny to see for sure. So I just got myself a smash burger. Super good. Finally finding my burgers in Florence. Real burgers, I mean. Jackson had this meat that was recommended to us by one of our professors. I am not even going to try to pronounce it. Basically, what it is it's the stomach of a cow. And he was supposed to get it on a sandwich. He messed up the order and got a soup, but he liked it. It didn't taste bad, but the texture kind of threw me off. It was super fatty. I mean, my guess at first was that it was a tongue, but when I looked it up, it is quite literally intestines. So for some reason on this trip, I am having super big issues with my earrings falling out. So I found a Claire's, and of course I went and hit that up because I needed some cheap earrings, and Claire's always does just that for me. I did not expect to run into one in Europe, but the more you know. So what's super interesting about this specific church is that on the ground you can see these like rectangles. So these are actually tombs of people who went to the church or donated to the church. Basically, we learned in class that the more you donated, the closer you would get to be buried to the altar. So, I mean, that was kind of just something we learned about in class a few days before, so it was cool to see that in person. So right now we are actually searching for this like leather school that Jackson had been hearing about that he really wanted to go to, and we searched everywhere for it. I wanted to give up. He wouldn't let me give up. He really wanted to go, but we did end up finding it after, a good 30 minutes of searching. But it was a good thing. Jackson did end up getting himself a real leather wallet, this red one here, and then had his his initials stamped into it with like a silver. This wallet is his new child. He cannot stop looking at it or talking about it. So we finally made it to our hotel room, and it was super cute. It was pretty much all pink. Here's the bathroom. I don't know, I was not impressed with the shower. I hate shower curtains that touch me while I'm showering. Cute pink wall, cute pink curtains. Not a crazy view, but just into a garden, so that was cute. This night, I had the best dinner of my life. This was the waiting area while we waited for our table. For a side, I got a spinach with Parmesan and some seasonings on it. I don't know, it looked super good, sounded super good. And it was. I actually really enjoyed it. But I did get kind of a lot, so I couldn't quite finish it. For the main course, I had this ravioli with, I think it was like ricotta filled, and then a white truffle sauce. And I can't stop thinking about this. Like, this was the best thing I have ever eaten in my life, hands down. After dinner, we walked back to our hotel, but this was a super cool view that we got to see. It's the river, and there's these houses over the river built into this bridge, which was just super interesting. So we stood here and just stared for a bit. I have been testing Jackson to see if he knows what gelatos are real and which ones are very likely to be fake. I've been explaining basically what I've heard anyway is that if it is all jazzed up like this one, it's fake, not real good quality gelato. And so we ran across this and just thought it was funny, but it looks super cool. I mean, I would get it, but I've heard that this is not the real good quality stuff. Saturday morning, our plan was to get in line early to get into the Duomo, so we arrived at the Duomo at opening, and the line was already an hour and a half to 2 hours long. So that was our mistake. We thought we were getting there early. We definitely should have been there a couple hours sooner, but I mean, we had nothing better to do, so we did wait to go in. We had been warned that pretty much everything that used to be in there had been taken out, so the place was pretty bland, and that's kind of exactly what we saw. But they had the dome in there, which was kind of like the main attraction of the place. So it was cool. I don't know if it was honestly worth how long we waited to get in. We've seen cooler ones, but I am glad that we did go. One feature that definitely made it worth it was that we saw the tomb of Brunelleschi. So he designed the dome of this church, and it's a whole big story, a whole big deal. So I didn't realize he was in here. I didn't think about it, so that was really cool to see. For lunch, we went to this place that Jackson had been eyeing. He found it on like some top 25 burger places in the world list, and it was in Florence. So we went here, and we got to build our own burgers. I built my own, he didn't, but I had just kind of a regular burger with the truffle mayo and then truffle fries, and it was really good. Definitely one of the best burgers for me. This next series of photos come from a museum that we went and visited. It's called the Galleria degli Uffizi. I probably butchered that, but these are just a bunch of pictures that I took in there of pieces of art that I thought were cool. Then we went ahead and headed back home on the train. We actually had a double-decker train, which was, I've seen them, but I hadn't been on one, wasn't expecting to be on one, so of course we went up top. Sunday was an extremely uneventful day. The only things I have from that day are at night whenever I was with Jackson and his roommate, where we went and got gelato and just sat outside the Duomo. On my way home, I found a slug. I've never seen a slug that big. It freaked me out, but I was also very intrigued. Alright, that's all I have for this week, and then I will see you next week. Ciao!